Hey all you lovely people, so today I'm going to show you a load of new art and journaling supplies that I've got over the last month or so. Most of which I've purchased myself from Amazon, but there's a couple of items that were gifted to me by my eldest daughter that I thought I'd just add in there because they're so adorable. So to begin with, I bought myself a beautiful set of vintage style scissors, the stainless steel with a sharp tip. Despite having many pairs of scissors in our house, there never seems to be a pair around when you need them. So I decided to get a distinctive set that I intend to keep on my desk at all times, that are undeniably mine, and then hopefully they will stay there. These cost £8.64 and testing them, they're nice to hold and cut smoothly. With the pointed tip blades, this should make cutting fiddly bits out of paper nice and easy. Next up is an A5 Pink Pig watercolour notebook. I first came across this brand many moons ago when I was in art college, and we were supplied these with our initial kits at the start of the year. I found that I really liked working in these little notebooks, and the quality of the paper was really good too. And I remember being quite surprised when it came to buying more notebooks from this company when I needed to do other projects at just how affordable they were. I'd kind of forgotten about this brand for a while, and then whilst looking for a new watercolour sketchbook to start taking out with me now the weather's hopefully getting a little bit better, I stumbled across them again, and I thought I'd see if they were just as good as I remembered them, and I'm not disappointed. The cover is handmade using Thai banana tissue. The book is spiral bound, which is a lot more durable than a glued notebook, which I think is quite an important thing, seeing as I'm intending to take it out and about with me, and probably will take a bit more of a battering than if it was just sat on my desk. However, I do have two cats that like to knock everything off my desk. The cover is tough, and with the spiral binding, it lets you stand the book up or lay it down completely flat. So the paper in these notebooks is cold pressed with a nice smooth tooth. The quality of the paper is really decent. It's nice and thick at 270 GSMs or grams per square meter, with 25 leaves equating to 50 pages for you to do your watercolour paintings on. At the price of £5.56, I think that's really good value for money. Unfortunately, really good quality art supplies can be very pricey, but in this instance, it's not the case at all. So I'm giving the notepad a little bit of a test drive with some incredibly basic leaf shapes. For the first set of leaves, I thought I'd do a fairly undiluted mix of paint. For the next couple of painted doodles, I use a much more diluted mix of paint to see how the paper reacts, and also to see how the paint flows on the surface. And from what I can see, there's hardly any buckling at all. So I do recommend this watercolour pad if you're on a budget or starting out with watercolours or just practicing your skills. Whilst we're on the subject of watercolours, my next item is this adorable tiny tin of 6 watercolour paints from CSY Art Gallery. I did temporarily get sidetracked with a little bit of bubble wrap. This palette is called Purple Star, which contains 6 handmade glitter and metallic watercolour blocks. I've never bought anything from this company before, so I have no idea how they're going to turn out, but I'm hoping that these are good. I am loving the tiny little compact tin that they come in. Upon opening the lid, I do notice that there's 2 adhesive magnetic strips, which I am ashamed to admit got me a little confuzzled as to what they were all about to begin with. Please don't judge. But once logic and reason returned to my brain, I realised that they're there for sticking the paint blocks to, so that they hold their place firmly in the tin. Anywho, I'm going to start unwrapping them and then swatching them. So I'm starting off with blue silver. They are very muchly wrapped well, and they were a little bit fiddly to get into, but luckily for you guys I can speed that whole process up, so you're not going to be stuck watching me trying to unwrap these little things for ages. Each of the blocks of paint had a sticker on the packaging with the name of the colour of the paint, so I gently peeled it off to stick to the bottom of my tin, so I've got that for future reference. So yeah, this first one that I've opened is blue silver, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to see how it looks on the paper. This one in particular is incredibly glittery, and it's really good to see that they filled the little pan as much as they possibly can with paint, so the company isn't being tight with how much paint they're giving you. The next colour that I'm unwrapping is called Blue Pearl. This one's still sparkly, but a little bit more subtle. It's got more of an iridescent sparkle to it than a glittery one. And then this gorgeous blue, which is called Crystal Peacocke Blue. I am so hoping that this is as vibrant as it looks in this little palette once I add it to the paper, but we'll soon find out. So I open up the other 3 colours, which are an iridescent manstone, a deep purple, and then a violet pearl. These purple tones are absolutely gorgeous, and the whole reason why I actually bought this set. I'm going to save the best to last and start with the blue silver first. using the watercolour book that I did the little leaves in earlier, and then I'm going to swatch all 6 colours from dark, medium and to light washes, so they've got a deeper understanding of what they're capable of. And I'm quite impressed with the first one. It seems quite pigmented actually. The blue pearl I don't think is going to show up very well on white paper, so I'm loading it up as much as possible, but it does look very pretty on the brush. I am going to swatch these colours onto black paper as well. I won't bother videoing the process, but I will show you at the end of doing this. So this one is that Crystal Pea Cake Blue. Sadly, this one isn't quite as highly pigmented as the Blue Silver, so I dropped a little bit more paint into that swatch and we'll see how it dries. So the next colour we're swatching is the Iridescent Manstone. From what I recall when I saw this advertised, it kind of looked like almost like a jewel tone once it's dry. But I'm not seeing that yet, but we'll just have to be patient and let this dry, and hopefully it will look as lovely as it did on the website. Now for my favourite, the Deep Purple. And now I have the Rift to Smoke on the Water in my head. This one's a bit similar to the Crystal Pea Cake Blue in the fact that it's not as vibrant as I was hoping it to be. But again, I'm going to wait and see what it looks like once it's dry. And then finally, the one that I've been trying to avoid pronouncing. It's called Duo Camore Violet Pearl. I'm just going to stick to Violet Pearl. I have no idea why they have to make some of these paint names so blooming difficult to pronounce. Anyway, the Violet Pearl ended up being quite vibrant, so I'm really happy with that one. And actually, once they dried, I was happy with all of them. They're all beautiful, and I'm definitely getting some mermaidy type vibes with these colours. And now I'm thinking there's one that's called, like, I think it's Ocean something or other. So I'm definitely going to have to get those because I'd love to do like a mermaidy under the sea creation. Right, so next up we've got another notebook, but this time it's just a sketchbook. It's a Pink Pig brand like the previous sketchbook. And I purchased this one because I wanted to start doing some urban sketching. This one is also A5 as the previous one, but it's in a landscape format this time. This has 35 leaves to the book, and so that means 70 pages. It's high quality, 150 GSM acid-free cartridge paper. And this sketchbook is also wiro bound like the watercolour one, and so it lays nice and flat and can stand upright if you want it to. And this little sketchbook cost £4.99. I use black fine liners a lot, and I've actually got a fair amount of the Unipin black fine liner pens at the moment. However, when I came across this pack and it had a brush pen and then some light and dark and sepia toned fine liner pens, I just had to have them. And at the moment there was a 26% discount off of them, so they were all for a bargain of £8.50. I have my birthday coming up next month, so if I do get any birthday money, I might actually get myself another set before the price goes up, as I have a feeling I'm probably going to use the greys and the sepia tone ones a lot. I was a little bit loath to waste a page in my new sketch pad, but I wanted to test out the paper and the pens to see if the paper could handle these pens aren't alcohol based or anything, so I can happily confirm that they didn't ghost or bleed. And if this cartridge paper can handle these pens, then I know for a fact that my bullet journal, which is a lot thicker paper, will be absolutely fine. I'm absolutely loving the greys and the sepia toned pens. As I've said, I've used the black fine liner pens of this brand a lot, so I kind of know what to expect, but I swatched them anyway just so that you can sort of see, in case any one of you who are watching this haven't tried them out before. However, a brush pen in this brand is new to me, so I'm going to test that out and see how it goes. I openly confess that I'm not the best when it comes to using brush pens for typography or anything, but yeah, it seemed pretty easy to use. Now next up I found this, and it's not from Amazon, I actually got it from The Works, which if you're from the UK, you are definitely very familiar with this shop. I popped into my local Works the other day and I saw this on the shelf and I thought, well, that looks interesting. I couldn't open it up in the store and have a look because there was a sticker on the side that I've just opened. I think at this point it's pretty obvious that purple is my favourite colour, so I think that's definitely what attracted me and the whole magical kind of mystical vibes that this was giving off. So opening this up, at the front there are these really cute thin papers that would be great for scrapbooking, and I would definitely be using these in my bullet journal at some point. Each decorative piece of paper is double-sided, so there's a different pattern on the back. I think the cloud ones are absolutely beautiful, and this one too. So it's got like a floral design, I don't know if you can see, it's like a ditzy floral design on the back, and then this beautiful cherry blossom scene on the other side, and then there's also this one that's got like a watercolour wash to it. Flipping through the rest of the book, there are more decorative pieces of paper. Now the paper is quite thin, so it's not like cardstock or anything, but the designs are really pretty. I love that one. And then as we go further into the book, there are lots of like decorative quotes that you can stick in your journal. And then on the other page, there are like a list of favourite things that you could easily cut out and stick into your journal or scrapbook. And then on the other page, there is a little section for each of the months for birthdays and things like that, and some birthday bunting. And then more decorative papers, which are duplicates of the ones that we've already seen. So after all these gorgeous decorative papers, there are also these cardstock postcards that are double-sided. Some of them have got some really beautiful designs. I love the wolf and the girl with the long hair. There are some smaller versions of the postcards, and then also these things for birthdays. And then on the next page, there's lots of like little tags and things and stickers. Some of them I'm not a massive fan of, like the gold stars. It seems like something that I would stick on my kids' behavioural chart. But then on the last page, there's some other stickers that are like to do with like reading, and then imitation washi tape. All in all, I don't think this is bad for £4. There's a little pouch in the back for some goodies. I don't know quite what you'd store there, but all in all, I think there's quite a lot in here that I will end up using. If you're interested in this, I know they deliver to the UK and BFPO addresses, but you might have to check if they deliver to your country wherever you are. Next up for my stash is some white pens. I had real problems when it came to setting up my spreads for March because I thought I had lots of white gel pens. However, none of them seem to be working and have all run out at the same time. So I've got myself some Jelly Roll pens. This pack of 3 comes in size 05, 08 and 10. I've used the Jelly Roll white pens plenty of times before. I kind of go between either using the Jelly Rolls or the Signo white gel pens. But the price of £6.89, the Sakura Jelly Rolls were a little bit cheaper than the Uniball ones, so I got these instead. Now next up, this was a gift, so I didn't actually buy this, but my daughter gave me this white Posca paint pen. Apparently they're on sale at Hobbycraft at the moment, or at least they were at the time that she purchased them. So she went a bit mental and got a load of the coloured ones, and she had a lot of the white ones that came along with it. And as I was moaning that my finer nibbed Posca paint pen was running out, she handed me this one, which was really sweet of her. But yeah, I usually get the 0.7mm, and this one is a 1.8 to 2.5mm. But as you can see, my white one is just about run out. Now next up is a purchase that I've been meaning to do for quite a while, but decent paintbrushes aren't cheap. Now I've never bought paintbrushes from Amazon before. I usually get them from an art supply shop. Sadly, the only decent art shop here on the Isle of Wight has closed down, so I don't really have much option but to get them online anymore. So these set of brushes I've used many times before and I love them, and they are the Da Vinci Cosmotop series. This pack comes in brush sizes 0 to 6 and 12. As a vegetarian, I'll always make sure that I get synthetic brushes, which these are, and I found that they're really good brushes. They're really nice to hold, and they do hold their brush shape really well. I mean, this is my old brush and I've had it for at least 3 years and I use it all the time, so it's done its time and it served me well. Now these set of 4 brushes were £33.92. Now I know that that seems quite a lot of money to be spending on brushes, which is why it's taken me so long to replace them. But after 3 years of constant use, it's definitely worthwhile and can be false economy to buy cheap brushes. Next up, I've invested in some Canson watercolour paper. It's an A4 pad and it's 300 GSMs of cold pressed watercolour paper, which I am going to give a deeper review in another video coming up very soon. But my daughter gave me these washi tapes that were absolutely adorable. So there's ones with moles and then hedgehogs and then squirrels. Now I don't know where she got them from. I even tried reverse image searching them, but I thought it was still worthwhile showing them off to you guys because I thought you might appreciate them. But that's all that I've got left to show you for today. I have got a new watercolour palette on the way that I've ordered from the States that isn't here yet, which I will be doing a review on alongside the Canson watercolour paper once it gets here. I'll be doing a video comparing professional quality and budget quality art supplies, so if you're interested in that, then look out for that in the near future. And if you love bullet journaling and enjoy art videos, then please consider subscribing to my channel. Let me know in the comment section below what art supplies you liked best in this video, and also what kind of content you would like me to do in the future. Thank you so much for watching and take care.